I was thinking about it and I realized that I should actually split these videos up, but then still post both of them today. So, let's get started again. I'm going to make this face mask with the nose dart and the chin gusset now, and this is how I'm doing it. Okay, I've got as a single length these pieces, or a single fabric, single cut. I can't think of the word right now. Okay, when I did this pattern before, instead of doing this piece and the other piece I'll show you in a little bit, I just did 2 of these. Okay, and it works just great. I'm just doing it where it has the ability to be able to put the filter in. Okay, so these are cut out, just one of these pieces. Okay, and this is the side piece. I need 2 of these because I'm gonna have one on this side and one on this side. Okay, if I was doing just 2 of these, of the big piece, then I would do 2 of these, and I wouldn't do this one or this one. Okay, and then I've got the chin piece. Okay, got the chin piece, and I need 2 of these. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is sew in my darts. Now, because it has the dart cut out like this, like that, it means that I don't have to mark it. It has a 10 centimeter seam allowance, which means 3/8 of an inch. So I've just folded them in half, and I'm just going to... Oh, I did this the wrong way. No wonder it felt weird. Just gonna sew it at, well, my machine actually says 10 centimeters right there. I'm just gonna sew it at, I guess I want to move this actually. I'm just gonna sew it at not 10 centimeters, 10 millimeters. 1 centimeter. Okay, so I'm going to sew it at 1 centimeter, which is 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Now this is where a dart can get kind of tricky, because even though right here this is kind of hard to see. Even though I have already gotten to the point that this part right here, let's see if I can cover this up a little bit. This part right here is at the edge, like right there. I still have all this way to go. So I have to continue following this line when I'm sewing this dart until I get to the point. All right, and now I'm at that point at the edge of the fabric, and I'm going to back stitch. And I want to make this as accurate as possible. Okay. That is a good dart. Okay. Now, now when I go to iron this, the thing that makes it difficult is that it's got this kind of curve in it. So the best thing to do when ironing is to get a tailor's ham. It's a tailor's ham. And use that to iron. It makes it so that way you don't end up ironing that flat very easily. Actually, I would do this the other way around. If you're going to iron this, and pick one way you're going to iron it, so that way when you put them together, if they're going the same way when they're ironed, then they will you'll have the bulk of one on one side and the bulk of one on the other side. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm going to go ahead and sew the other one. But yeah, using the ham makes it so that it's easier to iron this down without doing stuff down there. That's the secret to getting a good dart iron, ironing the dart very well. So I'm going to just sew this other one really quick. That one looks really good too. The thing that's tricky about as you get close to the dart is as you're sewing along to keep this lined up right there. If you're following this kind of line. If you have it just marked on here, it's a lot easier. But it's sometimes hard to get these points really well, especially since you do have to backstitch right there, and sometimes it creates a little extra bulk. So you want to try as hard as you can to get your back stitches really close together this way. They should, like this one's really close together. These back stitches are really nice and close. I wish these ones were a little bit closer. It's not going to matter so much on this, but there we go. I'm going to go ahead and do the chin panel, the little gusset now. And when I'm pinning that, the thing that can get a little bit difficult is that this is the edge that's supposed to go on the flat part. So one of the things I can do to make it a little bit easier on myself is to sew an easing line. So to do that, I just put things to a really, really long stitch pattern, and then I would just sew along like this. Okay, and that would make it a little bit easier for me. I'm not going to do that, but I do need to mark things. So I'm going to fold this in half like that. Here, I'm gonna turn the lights off for a little bit, and I'm gonna just do a little teeny tiny snip on both of them. And then I'm going to do the same thing on these. I already have them in half. Do a little teeny tiny snip. Where's my other piece? Oh, it's on the ham still. Little teeny tiny snip. Okay, that way I can match these up. I'm going to take my little snip here, my little snip there, and I can match them up right there. Match that up. Okay, and then this is the part where it has to ease a little bit, so I'm just gonna pull this out to here. Now this is a little bit weird. Maybe I should be doing the other thing together first. I'm not sure. I'm going to come back and think about it. All right, I've thought about it, and I need to mark a couple things first. So I'm marking with little tiny snips. This is where the chin piece is supposed to come in, here and here and over here. So I marked those. I put a little teeny tiny snip right there before I take this off. And then I'm going to mark this fold line right here, here, and here. Oh, I already did the top one. Okay. And I'm going to take care of that first. I think I need to put together the lining pieces before I can do the chin pieces for the lining. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. First what I'm going to do is these edges where it's supposed to be turned. It says turn back and top stitch to finish. And it says that also on this piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to serge, or if you don't have a serger, zigzag over it. And then I'm just going to fold it over and then top stitch on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So what's really nice about putting in those little snips here on the top and on the bottom is that then when I went to go iron it, I just matched them up. Oh wait, maybe that one was a little bit over. It'll be fine. Maybe I'll fix it a little bit. It was just really easy. I didn't have to do a lot of measuring with like a seam gauge or anything like that. So I've ironed all of these and serged them. I'm going to sew those. I'm going to sew this up. I really should have done this before I put in this dart, but it'll still be fine. It'll still be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and just sew those really quick. And I'm just going to center everything. Well, maybe I'll just do a little bit over. I'm just going to top stitch it like this. So technically doing this whole one piece after another is like breaking rules of sewing, but I do it. It's one of those, it's kind of like a combined serger sewing machine technique. I do make sure that there's enough space in between, but that way I don't have to cut as many tails. So yeah, now all of these, that looks good. This looks good. I'm going to use this piece right here, the long piece, to help me match them up correctly. Because what I can do, this is what I was talking about with the ironing. If I iron them both this way, okay, then when I sew them together, I can have the bulk of one on this side and the bulk of one on the other side. So I'm gonna, when I iron them, I'm gonna make sure I do that. But I'm gonna use this to be able to get these lined up correctly. Wait, it goes the other way. See? Because I need these to be together right here for the chin piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to pin through these layers right here. I don't know. I'm going to put the other one on and we'll see. Wait. I want the middle piece to be on the bottom because then when I flip it around, it'll be good. There we go. So everything is all lined up so that it's the same width. And then what I'm going to do is just tack these parts down, I think, because that's easier, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm gonna I'm gonna pin these parts together right here so that I know where the chin piece goes. Man, I'm not lining this up really well. I need to put it flat in order to do this properly, and that means you can't see what I'm doing. But anyways, I'm gonna get this lined up. I guess I could use the overlap lines from the... Oh, that's my problem. I don't have the centers lined up. There we go. There we go. That looks good. That looks good. I'm going to pin these together. Like this. Come on. These together. Like this. There we go. So now I've got them pinned together. And it's important that, because what I want to be able to insert the lining if I put in a lining like this. That's the reason why the middle piece, when it's face down, is on the bottom, and then the side pieces go on top. So I've got them lined up right now. And so this will be the right side. Now I can take my chin piece here. Where's my little, see, there's my little snip there. And my middle one right here. So now I can line up my middle piece right here. Like that. And then these side pieces right here. I don't remember if it has the seam allowance taken out or not. Let's look at it on this one. Anyways, I think it lines up there. Yeah. So the lining up of the little snip right here is 3/8 of an inch in like this. So it's going to line up like that, if I remember correctly. And 3/8 over. Maybe it would have helped if I had put the little snip on the chin piece. Anyways. And then the rest of this, I'm going to I'm going to pull on this a little bit because I want that down. I want this piece down right there. This one isn't too bad. It doesn't need, it actually seems like it's coming together pretty well. I'm going to do the same thing here. I've got the middles together. I took it off to be able to, I had pinned it before. And then I've got my mark over here of how far over the chin piece is supposed to go. And my mark over here for how far over the chin piece is supposed to go. Yeah, I should have marked that a little snip, but I didn't. And then just kind of pull along right there. There we go. Now I can go ahead and sew them. I'm going to sew this one first so that I get a feel for it, because it's going to be easier. Now what I'm going to do as I sew is I'm going to stretch this a little bit. Once I get started, I'm going to put in my back stitches. Well, that went up funny. And then I'm going to handle it the way that I want it to sew a little bit. And I'm going to go. This is the part where it gets a little difficult. This is the part that needs to stretch a little bit. So I'm going to just do a little few stitches at a time. Readjust. I don't think I was paying attention to seam allowance in the beginning. Yeah. Okay. So that looks good. See how they're nice and matched up here? I'm going to end up, because this is an outside curve and this is going to create bulkiness, I'm going to use pinking shears here to be able to take away some of that bulkiness. So, but let me sew the other one. Yeah. Make sure I pay attention to seam allowance this time. On the 3/8 mark. I'm going to get past this point right here where I'm just holding the two pieces together with a pin. Before I start to do my stretching. So I'm stretching this bottom piece a little bit. I'm gonna stretch this piece a little bit. But I'm only gonna stretch it to where the two pieces come together. There we go, that looks good. Except for that I still have some, it looks like it's being a little difficult. Oh, there we go, that feels good. I guess I still have to stretch a little bit. But I want to make sure that this right here doesn't come out of place. Now that I'm over where I'm overlapping the two pieces, it's a lot easier to stretch a little bit. Man, I hope this worked. That looks good. Yeah, that looks good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pink across here, and I'm going to iron down my dart, and I'm also going to iron this out. I don't remember which way I ironed it last time. Did I iron it? Well, I'll tell you when I come back, but I'm gonna go ahead and press these out on the ham because that makes it a lot easier to be able to iron them out. So, all right, I remember now. I'm pressing it. I've already pinked it, but I have it on the ham, and I'm going to press it so that the seam allowance is going towards the chin piece, because if I do it this way, then that part comes out. Yeah. So I do it towards the chin piece there. And I have it on the ham so that I can easily just, I can do this part and then turn it around and do the other part. So yeah, I pinked it to help take out some of the bulkiness instead of having to do the notches where you cut in here and then this way. The pinking kind of does that. It helps take out some of the bulkiness so that it lies a little bit more flat. So I'm going to go ahead and iron that. And I'm also ironing I already ironed the dart down. That came out really nice. So, okay, that looks really, really good now that it's ironed. Now, if you don't have a tailor's ham, you can roll up some towels. If you're doing darts on a dress, there's like a specific way they're supposed to like go like out and down. I don't remember right now, but for this dart, I have them facing this way. I have them both that way, so that when I put right sides together now, I can get them. I'll have less bulkiness because of one now they're opposite ways. So then I pin those down. Pin those down. Okay. And pin along there. Because I didn't get these tied in here, the first thing I'm going to match up is going to be the sides. So I got that matched up right there. And I'm going to match it up over here. Now this particular pattern has you leave the sides open and then turn it inside out. So I've got those matched up there. And then it's just a matter of smoothing that out to there, smoothing that out to there, pin it. Now the other side, smooth that out to there, smooth that out to there, pin it. There we go. Now on the bottom side, match up my ends. Ends. All right, and when I sew this, I want right here where the chin gusset ends, I want to line those up as much as possible and pin that down. There's just the right amount of space for me to, when I'm sewing this section, I'm going to sew at 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter, 10 millimeters, and it'll just catch that intersection right there. So that's what I'm looking for, is to make that intersection line up properly. There we go, pin it. These are a little bit off. That doesn't matter. What matters is that they're lined up here where the actual seam is. Okay. And then line this up. There we go. We'll go ahead and sew them. I think I want to sew the top first to help get those down. Okay. sew this side now. So here's that critical moment. This is the critical moment. I want to, it's hard to see again because of the lighting. I want to cross over this seam that I already have. Here's the other critical moment right here. It's hard to see. I want to make sure that I sew over where that other seam ended. Otherwise I'll have a raw edge. Oops. So here, you can see here that this seam ended here, and I made sure I got over it. And on this side, same thing here. Okay. And then all I have to do is turn it inside out. I'll turn it in, whoops. Okay. The reason that was so critical is right here, I don't have any raw edges showing. And then what I'm going to do, I could iron or I can pin. I'm going to probably pin, I don't know, iron or pin and top stitch along here. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm just going to pin. Now the reason that I put pins in right here, I don't want, while I'm top stitching along here, for this to gape open and then for it to be sewn a little more open than I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch now. There we go. All right, and the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to serge. I can serge or zigzag, but I'm going to serge this end right here. And what I didn't do before is I'm going to make a little channel right here for my my nose piece. I'm going to see if that works on this one. Okay. I've gone back to the pattern and I put a mark top and bottom where it says this fold line is supposed to be, so that I can fold it there. And that's where I'm going to sew it. Fold it there. Okay. So I'm just going to sew down there. That ends up becoming a channel for me to put my ties through, or my elastic through. I like the idea of having replaceable ties or replaceable elastic, because elastic and ties can wear out over time. And then right here, I'm going to sew. I've been doing 5/8 of an inch away. Maybe I'm going to try 1/2 inch away. And when I do, I need to make sure that I don't sew through this layer right here. Maybe it wouldn't matter actually, but actually it probably won't matter. No, I don't want to sew through there, so that way I can put it underneath there and not have it poke through. Because I take a pipe cleaner and I fold it in half. Sometimes I twist it up. Yeah, I want to be able to not have this part right here poke me in the face. So I'm going to sew a 1/2 inch away from here. And on this one, I'm just going to sew right along this line. I'm going to just sew right along that line right there. So here we go. I put in these pins to be my my little markers of where to sew, so I don't sew too far. I think I got it. I think I did a good job. Yeah. So then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my pipe cleaner. I'm just gonna push it through. Ooh, 1/2 inch is a bit more tight. That's probably a good thing. Okay, as it pokes through here, I want it to go underneath this layer here. There we go. And then the remaining bit right here, I want to just have go underneath. Like that. There we go. That'll work really nice. Okay, so then now what I need to do, I'm going to put it up to my face and I'm going to measure how long I want this elastic to be. So I've got this 1/4 inch elastic and I've got a needle that has a big enough eye that the elastic fits through it. So I'm going to, I want to end up here. So I'm going to go down here and then up here to be able to get my elastic in. You know what? I'm going to do it backwards. See if it works. Had to make sure I don't poke myself, but come on. There we go. I could do this with a safety pin too. Come on. it's easier to put it in this way. The problem is it is so pointy. Got to make sure I don't go through the actual fabric. This will be a lot easier with a tapestry needle. There we go. And I want all my pieces to be flat. Oh, I twisted this one. I'm gonna twist this, send the twist through. Come on. There we go. I don't know why I do. I just don't like having the twists in there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it together this way, but I need to measure around my face. So I'm going to put it up to my face. I'm going to test it. So I have this done, and I have the elastic. I haven't got it where I want it yet, so I'm just going to get this really nice. I'm going to hold it in place the way that I want it. I'm gonna pull it over my face. This is how I did the other one, like this. Do I want it to be a little bit looser? I think I might. Yeah, that feels nice. Okay. Don't want it that much. Ugh, this is hard with glasses. Okay. I want to have about 1 inch of overlap. So what I'm doing, I want things to be nice and flat. So I've got it so that there's no twist here. And there's no twist here. I'm just going to zigzag over this. When it's 1/4 of an inch wide, sometimes it's hard to get it to line up. So I'm just gonna pin with about 1 inch in between. I'm just gonna zigzag it really quick. Oh, zigzag. Once I have my first stitch in, then I can take the pin out. Why are you not going to zigzag? There we go. Dang it. There we go. And zigzagged on. Now let's go see. So, yeah, I think this one, it still blows in my glasses a little bit, but because it's further down, because it's further down, it doesn't do, it's not so bad. I still think I'm gonna have to put like a piece of tissue right there or something, but this is the way that I would do it for all day wear. So if you're going to be doing, or if you're going to be doing this like so that you need to remove it constantly, I mean, you can just pull it down and that's kind of nice. But and I guess you could use ties instead, but the thing that I like about this with the elastic going all the way around is that I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about anything loosening or anything like that. So anyways, that's how I would make this face mask. The first one that I made, I was trying to explain before. See, this is the same one, except for that I didn't do the lining. Well, I did do the lining. I just didn't do the lining where I could put a filter in here. And technically, in order to make this removable, I could have put, before I sewed them together, like a buttonhole here and a buttonhole there, so that way I can remove the pipe cleaner here and there. This is just one way that you can do it. There's lots of different ways. As I was saying, this style where you've got the ear, that's really great for when you need to be able to remove it often, because it's just a lot faster. So now the reason why this one is so much more comfortable is because of this chin piece, in my opinion. It just doesn't move around that much, see? So I am literally going to take this one to the store now and test it out for like a half hour. So I'm going to do another review on face masks and maybe make another one. I'm not sure. But there's going to be another review of face masks because I've still got like 3 more patterns to try. So I hope you've enjoyed my face mask review, which is going to be a separate video. And then how to make this face mask that has the dart at the nose and the chin piece, the chin gusset. The thing that I don't like about having the pipe cleaner this way is that it can move side to side. And when I'm wearing it, it's not so bad. But sometimes I'm like, I've got to push that back over so the bend is in the same place. But I really do think it's a good idea to have it so that the pipe cleaner is replaceable, so that if you're wearing this a lot, or what if you want to wash a ton of them and you want to take I don't know. I really think that being able to replace it makes it so that it'll last longer, because then it's just the fabric that you're washing. And being able to replace the elastic is also good, because elastic does wear out as well. So maybe I should make some of these in some fun colors. I've been using just this scrap fabric left over from making a lot of bloomers for the school play. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bruce, can you sneeze for me? No? You don't need to worry, I think, because you're just going to stay here. So you don't have to worry about social distancing, because you already do a good job at it.